Hi guys, so behind me here, this is the Honda City Hatchback, okay, and you see the RS badge here and the blue tinge on the Honda logo. This is the hybrid model, priced over 100,000 ringgit, six-figure price tag for a Honda City. Well, this is the hatchback model, okay. Honestly, from a proportion standpoint, this takes a bit of getting used to, but in actual fact, this is the same formula in a way as that of the Toyota Yaris. Okay, both of them, both the Yaris and the Vios City and the City Hatchback, they both sedan and hatchback share the same front end. Just one has a boot, one has a tailgate. Okay, now the front end of the City here really needs no introduction. This design, right, if you look at it, right, has been on a progressive evolution since the time of the City GM2 that was launched in 2008. And you know, you have to pay tribute to that original design, because that GM2 City still influences the design of the Honda City today. And you know, that car till today, it still looks advanced, it still looks progressive, it still looks sophisticated. This carries on that template. And you know, I would say right now, even today, if you compare this against the Vios, you compare this against the Mazda 2, Proton, Iris, Proton Persona, all these other B segment contenders, the City still, I would say, stands out as perhaps the one with the most dynamic, the most advanced styling. And I think much of it boils down to the very successful execution of the design right from the time of the City GM2. Okay, so here you can see the RS version. You have the blue tinge on the Honda badge, you have the RS badge, this bar here, which is chrome in the petrol models, is now finished in gloss black for a slightly sportier look. Which, speaking of sportier, you can see this has the, well, carbon fiber look here at the front splitter. LED headlamps, all right, and you got fog lamps. Overall, I would say the front end still very, very handsome. All right, 16-inch alloy wheels, and this being the RS model, the side mirror is finished in black for a sportier look. Now, we look at the proportions of the City Hatchback, and this is where this car invites a bit of debate, because this platform was originally designed as a sedan, and then they chopped the rear to become a hatchback. And you can see that, you know, from the way somehow, all right, from a proportion standpoint, this car seems better suited as a sedan. You see, when you look at this, right, the front overhang is really long, and then suddenly the back looks like it gets chopped off. So there's a bit of a proportional imbalance, if you like. Okay, but that being said, it's not an ugly looking car. Okay, the back here, you can see that there are traces of the continental inspired design, European inspired design. Once again, the Honda badge here has the blue tinge. All right, the rear diffuser element actually is rather pronounced, rather aggressive, even though the muffler, the tailpipe, points downwards. Okay, so let's open the boot. For B segment hatchback, the boot is rather big, rather generously sized. No spare tire underneath, because they have to have space for the battery, right, the traction battery. I come to the rear end, you can see a generous amount of leg room here. Okay, there's this vent here to cool, of course, the hybrid battery. And of course, the City Hatchback, big selling point, you get Honda's famous Ultra seats. So when you fold it down this way, you get a nice flat loading floor. That's one option. Or you can lift this up, okay, to get a tall floor where you can load, like, you know, tall items here. Then when you drop this, a very effortless drop, it locks into place. Side, I'm 170 centimeters tall. Still got a bit of headroom above me, but the seat angle overall is good. All right, no complaints. And considering the, you see, considering the flexibility which these seats are designed for, I will have to say that the comfort levels is not bad. All right, the lean angle is good. The thigh support rather decent. Look at this, fantastic amounts of legroom. You got rear aircon vents and you got two 12-volt sockets. So space-wise, I would say the City Hybrid here emerges as an early, you know, it's one that delivers it in spades where the B segment hatchback is concerned. All right, so we come to the front. Now I've highlighted this when viewing this car during the launch event, but the cabin of the City Hybrid here, of this generation City, I would say it's a big step up compared to the previous GM6. Now of course there's still a lot of hard plastics here and there, but build quality, I would say, overall feels a step up from before. As usual, Honda's arrangement of space is really beyond fault. Okay, there's a storage tray here, so you've got a mobile phone, you can put it here, can put it here maybe a bit not lah. You've got two cup holders here, but you've got this tray here, which it's not a wireless charging tray. All right, you got electric parking brake here. All right, and you've got another you've got a center console box here, storage box here. So here you can see the dash here. This is hard plastic, but here is leather. Okay, and the seats is Alcantara. All right, with, well, semi Alcantara and fabric, but here it's leather. So I would expect them to have put matching, you know, this and this to be of matching material, but they aren't. Okay, so here you have it. Wow, the screen has quite a lot of things going on here. All right, but it's crisp, so you can of course manually tune your radio stations if you so prefer. Look at the apps. Okay, this is nothing doing, and yeah, so through this you can even activate the rear camera, or you even have Honda Lane Watch, I believe. You have Honda Lane Watch here, which you can activate by, well, by turn signal, or you can press this button here to activate the Honda Lane Watch, which is one of in place of a blind spot monitoring system, a rather creative design whereby they put a camera mounted at the side mirror to help you keep an eye in case of a motorcycle or whatever vehicle in your blind spot. And it's very clever that Honda put it here, because what it means that when your line of vision is straight ahead, all right, you will look here at your side mirror, and then immediately this cleverly doubles as a secondary side mirror, if you like. Okay, so this is very clever. The arrangement of controls, the aircon controls is all consolidated here within this one small strip, all within easy reach, and you know, it's easy to understand. No, you know, it's the clarity is good, right? Fan speed, temperature control, recirculating button, all very easy to understand. All right, so here the instrument cluster. Okay, as you can see right now, it shows that the engine up front is running. It's charging the hybrid battery, and so this is a digital plus analog instrument cluster. So you have the analog cluster here, and you have the digital and this whole section here is a screen which appears as a analog gauge when not in use. All right, so here the steering mounted controls, volume control. So here you have active cruise control, you have lane keep assist as well. So in terms of ADAS, the City Hybrid here is pretty well stocked. Okay, so here you can activate or deactivate the ADAS system at the press of a button here. All right.
When I switched to Pro mileage, in my case, I got 46-47% of savings for that car.
Pro mileage was the only one that gave me 5,000 extra value to cover, yet still cheaper, a lot less.
Let's head out in the City Hybrid. Okay, so if you have watched my previous video, I had just driven the Proton Saga, and that review was filmed back to back with this one. So obviously when I come to the City, the immediate improvements in powertrain refinement is evident. Of course, the suspension also feels noticeably more supple here in the City. The back part in particular feels better planted. I suspect it is perhaps also due to the weight of the hybrid battery pressing down against the suspension. All right. So of course, this is a much more effortless car to drive around. But you know, it's in keeping with its name, you know, a Honda City. This also feels like an excellent city car. Suspension copes very admirably with the various surfaces of road here. Of course, the steering wheel does not seem as reactive compared to the Proton that I just drove earlier, but well, in the context of city driving, it's all right. And the suspension, once again here, it does an adequate job, you know, of filtering the road anomalies beneath. All right, it feels comfortable enough in the lousily patched roads here around Chan Sao Lin area. And the way the electric motor helps the engine along when you accelerate makes accumulation of speed a pleasantly effortless affair.
Okay, so the final concluding thoughts of the City Hybrid, the verdict. It's mixed, and it really depends on how you frame the question. Because if you were to ask me, is this car worth 110,000 ringgit? It actually is. But if you were to ask me, would I recommend that you buy this car? My answer is that if you are shopping for a B segment hatchback or sedan, chances are your needs are already well served with the regular 1.5 litre petrol model that even has a wee safety version, all right, that comes with a full Honda sensing package anyways. So the regular petrol model already comes with all the necessary bells and whistles that makes for a complete B segment motoring experience. So you don't really need what the City Hybrid has to offer. But how does this car justify that price tag then? Simply put, it's the technology that goes under the hood. Because you see, compared to other hybrid models in the market, especially at this segment, the City here is almost like that of a self-charging electric vehicle. It's the closest thing to a self-charging electric vehicle short of a range extender EV. Because here in the City RS, the electric motor is the one that does most of the heavy lifting compared to the predecessor model, where the engine, the combustion engine, is the one that does most of the driving and the electric motor steps in to assist. Here, the electric motor shoulders the burden of driving. The engine functions primarily to charge the battery and step in to provide drive power to supplement the efforts of the electric motor. So you are paid 110,000 ringgit for the technology that goes into here, that is a big leap up in terms of sophistication compared to that of the previous generation City Hybrid. So that's why I said, is this car worth 110,000 ringgit? Yes, to pay for this technology here, but I suspect that for most of us, the regular 90+ thousand ringgit City is more than good enough to meet your B segment motoring needs. Plus, as we all know, with hybrid cars, not only are you buying this at a higher price, you are also facing steeper depreciation compared to the regular petrol models. Okay guys, so if you're a football fan just like I am, you have a chance to win yourself an all expenses paid trip to watch an English Premier League game live in the UK with every purchase of Castrol Magnatec and Castrol lubricants. You also get an additional 25 ringgit credited into your Touch and Go e-wallet. So pick up your bottle of Castrol Edge or Castrol Magnatec today and stand a chance to win an experience of a lifetime watching an English Premier League game live in the UK.